Détection du patrouilleur BXO pour un rapport de feu. J'ai un feu dans le 1713-2.
362 compris, BXO.
Pointeur arsenaux du QGL, on a un feu de rapporter dans le 1713-2. À vous.
Cambré QGL, je rends immédiatement à vous.
Compris.
Chef de l'œuvre.
Pointeur Arsenault, ici le citerne 230, nous ferons rendez-vous dans quelques minutes.
Cambré, citerne 230.
Over 1,000 forest fires, just like this one, are fought in Quebec every year. From April through November, all over Quebec, forests are threatened by their worst enemy, fire. Fire can destroy more trees within a single year than both of the forest's other natural enemies combined, insects and disease.
QGL, 6 pointeurs arsenaux, tout est sous contrôle.
Compris, pointeur arsenaux.
This fire was discovered in time and put under control by very specialized personnel. Men whose expertise, efficiency, and vigilance are unique. Today, these men have an exceptional ally, a highly developed system for fighting forest fires. The protection of forests against fires relies on a centralized organization, an efficient communication system, and innovative technology. Forest fires can now be fought with the help of powerful computers through the rapid collection of data. Quebec has huge forested areas, 550,000 square kilometers of which are commercially usable. They must be protected. The forest is one of our most important self-replenishing resources. 250,000 jobs are directly related to the forest industry, 10% of all Quebec jobs, and provides for 1 out of every 7 Quebecers. But forest fires are devastating. Of every 5 forest fires, 4 are due to human negligence. Lightning is responsible for the others.
En forêt, il y en a qui ont peur de la foudre. C'est vrai que ça en fait des ravages. Mais moi, c'est pas la foudre qui me fait peur. C'est les armes à feu. Et quand je parle d'armes à feu, c'est de ça que je parle.
The Ministère de l'Énergie et des Ressources, in a joint effort with Conservation Quebec, wants to make the population more aware through its advertising and educational programs. These programs have been quite effective. In relative terms, fewer forest fires are now caused by negligence. The toll taken by forest fires is overwhelming. 36,000 acres burn each year, 3 million cubic meters of wood, enough to build 100,000 single-family houses. And every year, $27 million is spent preventing and extinguishing fires. In only a few hours, a small lightning fire can grow into a monster of smoke and flame, completely out of control. Although fewer in number, lightning fires are more devastating. Hard to detect, they are sometimes reached when it is too late. For fires of this magnitude, conventional means such as water bombing are insufficient. New strategies had to be developed to detect fires more rapidly, making firefighting more efficient and economical. In the early 70s, an approach based on the centralization and coordination of efforts at the provincial level was put forward by the Ministère de l'Énergie et des Ressources, Service de la protection contre le feu. In Maniwaki, at the Société de conservation de l'Outaouais, researchers developed and experimented with a new firefighting system. From now on, fires can be found before they even start. Through forecasting, the enemy can be tracked and detected before he can move. But forecasting implies seeing. The eyes of the new system are called sensors, weather stations, radar, lightning locators, patrollers, and satellites. Its brain is called computers and software. The new system, a technological sentry, always vigilant, continuously informed. In the new system, complete and precise data must be forwarded to the decision centers so that all resources spread throughout Quebec can be properly used. The first key to the system, centralization. The Quebec territory has been divided into 7 sectors, 7 sociétés de conservation, each responsible for preventing, detecting, and extinguishing fires in their own region. In each region, the société operates a fire center, which becomes a true nerve center during combat. Overseeing the whole province is the Ministère de l'Énergie et des Ressources, provincial fire center in Quebec City, which makes certain all efforts are integrated. From here, for example, the 21 water bombers are assigned to the different air bases throughout Quebec. Forecasting forest fires requires considerable data. All data is transmitted both to the Provincial Fire Center in Quebec City and the Fire Center of each region. At the Regional Fire Center, these data are used to identify high-risk zones. Among these data is a factor supplied by Forêt Météo of Environment Canada, the dry fuel factor. In the forest, all dry fuels can feed a potential fire, but other factors have a bearing on forest fires too. Forêt Météo also sends wind, relative humidity, and weather data. All of these factors are displayed as graphics with distinctive colors and symbols so that high-risk zones can be easily identified. Rain is an important factor. Twice a day, precipitation is measured at different points on each société's territory. This information, along with relative humidity and wind direction reading, is sent to the fire center. A radar system will eventually complete the conventional rain gauge data. This radar will provide precipitation readings in zones where there are no rain gauges. A forecast factor of forest fires caused by human activity in the forests is also taken into account. Termed human-caused, this factor relates the number of fires to human presence in the forests. Lightning, the forest's #1 enemy, must also be detected. This is a lightning detector. It locates all lightning hitting the ground. It then sends this information to the Société's Fire Center without delay. Up to 20,000 lightning strikes can be recorded in a single sector within 24 hours. Obviously, if lightning strikes a region that hasn't had any rain recently, the risk of fire increases. To complete the fire forecasting system, data is also collected by satellite. The satellite's eye is highly precise. It subdivides the area into millions of tiny cells and identifies the types of forest stand. For example, all the green cells you see on the screen are made up essentially of resinous trees. At the Société's Fire Center, these factors are examined, compared, and analyzed. Not only does the new system have eyes and a brain, it also has a memory to store everything it learns. A technology transfer center was established in Maniwaki to make all this new technology available throughout Quebec. Specialists oversee the applications of the new technology in all the Sociétés de conservation.
Hello? Hi, Pete. Please stand by.
At the center, research programs developed by the Petawawa National Forestry Institute are also tested.
Pronounce your menu selection. Fire model.
A pioneer in his field, Dr. Peter Kurtz has, among other things, developed a model for predicting fire behavior. His model will predict the size, speed, and direction of a new fire, making fast decision-making possible.
Hi, Webb.
Hi, Pete.
But the eyes, brain, and memory of the system still can't replace human expertise. Not yet, anyway. Dr. Kurtz is currently attempting to transfer this expertise to a computer using artificial intelligence. This expert system will integrate the acquired knowledge of the best firefighting specialists. The computer will then become a talking decision-making aid.
Pronounce your menu selection. CRT. So this shows us a map.
But no matter how sophisticated the system, the specialist's experience, judgment, and motivation are still what counts most. The system's main function at the present time is to identify dangerous sectors and mobilize air and ground support to those sectors quickly and efficiently. The second key to the system, mobilization. The first to be mobilized are the patrollers, true specialists in fire detection. Aboard a light plane, they fly over the critical regions. They then locate and pinpoint the fires according to a pre-established 9-digit code. This information is immediately transmitted to the Société's Fire Center, which coordinates all further action. Once a fire is detected, troops and supplies must reach it as soon as possible. Everything is prepared ahead of time. Rigorous organization enables maximum mobilization efficiency. The first one there is the bird dog officer. Flying in a twin-engine aircraft, his role in the combat to come is an important one. He will remain above the fire throughout the operation. Within the hour, a ground combat team will be brought by truck, helicopter, or airplane. get there within 30 minutes. But they need water. Luckily in Quebec, that's not much of a problem. A body of water can usually be found in the vicinity of the fire. 10 seconds is enough to fill up. The water bombers fly over once to let the combat troops know they're going to drop their water. Then the bombing begins and goes on relentlessly. Higher up in the sky, the bird dog officer guides the bombing. If conditions are good, the bombers will have contained the fire shortly, so that the ground troops can control it the same day. Once the bombings are over, the combat team establishes a fire line. Using shovels, power pumps, and if necessary, bulldozers, they circumscribe the fire, thereby cutting off its advance. The ground crews are highly efficient. Training every year makes them truly competent in their specific tasks. They put out 75% of all fires themselves without bomber support. But in order to ensure perfect coordination between ground troops, air crews, and the Société's fire center personnel, each group must be able to communicate with the others. Which brings us to the third key to the system: communication. Standardized by the Service de Protection contre le Feu, communications logistics have improved immensely, especially in combat situations. Radio communications are maintained between the combat teams on the ground, the air crews in the bird dog aircraft, the water bombers, and the Société's fire center. Sometimes a single Société's resources are just not sufficient to get the situation under control. That's when the provincial fire center comes into play. The center is responsible for moving personnel and equipment borrowed from neighboring Sociétés or from outside the province. Even then, with all means deployed, certain situations just get out of hand or risks become too great. In such a case, the Provincial Fire Center recommends the closing down of the forest until the situation is re-established.
Toi, Régis, est-ce que ça va avec ça? Je suis prêt à faire la recommandation aux autorités.
From forecasting to extinguishing forest fires, the new system is proving itself to be a very efficient machine. Centralization, mobilization, and communication are the three keys to this organization. The Service de Protection contre le Feu's expertise is known and appreciated around the world, wherever there are forests and forest fires. The system's efficiency, combined with its built-in technological innovations, have reduced forest fire areas from 60 hectares per fire in the 60s to 30 hectares per fire in the last decade, a decrease of 50%. All this unburned wood, once processed, accounts for an annual input of over $1 billion in the economy. Because of the Ministère de l'Énergie et des Ressources dynamic organization, firefighting research will continue in the province of Quebec. Forests represent an important resource, vital to Quebec's economic development and essential to the well-being of its population. By protecting this precious resource, we are in fact protecting our future.